Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Nanji Mateo. I am the founder of Interpremet.com, and in today's video I want to talk to you about 3 ethical dilemmas or ethical decision-making situations that I faced while working over the phone. So this video is a reply to my co-founder's video about the ethics club that we have now on Interpremet, which I will talk about a little bit more at the end. So, without further ado, let's get started in my 3 ethical decision-making situations. So, the first situation that I faced over the phone, and actually, this was a call that I was reviewing as a QA, but it's something that left a long-lasting impact on me because sometimes when you rarely face ethical decision-making situations over the phone, but when you do, they're generally pretty severe or pretty serious, I will say. So in this call, the provider was speaking in Spanglish to the patient, and the provider was like, "Why cannot you understand what I'm saying? I'm talking to you in Spanish," but it was very broken, awful Spanish. And of course, the patient was starting to feel very frustrated. And at some point, the patient said, "But I cannot understand you. I don't know what's going on." And the provider was just even more um, annoying by saying, "But I'm speaking to you in Spanish. How come you cannot understand?" And so the interpreter just stood by, didn't say anything, didn't do anything. But of course, if I would have been that interpreter, what I think I would have done from the outsider's perspective, because it's not the same as being there, it's intervening and telling the provider, "Hey, I'm here to interpreter. I'm here to help you. Please let me interpreter. You are not speaking you are not using a very good Spanish, so that's why the patient is not understanding," instead of just standing by and just listening and doing nothing. So that was pretty, even I felt frustrated and powerless really by listening to that call. So that's something that happens over the phone. The second situation is about a patient that, well, it's not a patient, it was a caller. They were calling 911 and they collapsed on the call. They were breathless. They couldn't even pronounce words, and they were like, "I need help." And to me, it makes me feel so, oh my God, what do I do? What do I have to do? And of course, I told the 911 dispatcher that I couldn't understand what the patient was saying. I just knew that they were breathless. They weren't able to speak. It seemed like something was really wrong with them, but I cannot understand or make out what they are saying. And then I later asked my QA agent, because that was a long time ago, and they told me that there is nothing that I could have done, because if I cannot understand what they are saying, how am I going to interpret? Maybe they were having a heart attack, maybe they were suffering, and at the end the call dropped, and I don't know what happened with that person. But till this day, I'm still like, I still remember that because it was pretty intense. So this is one of those situations in which I believe it's very useful to have a script about what are you going to say to the other person, to let them know that you, as the interpreter, you are not understanding what they're saying, either because they cannot pronounce well, or even because they speak another language, because they are speaking broken Spanish, or for any other reason. Maybe it's a choppy call. Always having like a protocol to follow in those instances it comes very, very handy, because at that point in time, in the moment, in the heat of the moment, sometimes it's hard to do the right thing, because of so many things going on at the same time. My third situation, it was about a lawyer. So this lawyer was super rude to me, the interpreter, and also to the LEP, because they were not helpful at all, and this is something I feel is more as like customer service kind of thing. So the lawyer will not let the LEP finish their sentences. They will rush them. They wouldn't listen. They will be like just yelling at them, like almost yelling at them and yelling at me. And the lawyer will ask me, if interpreter, I don't need the whole story, just tell me yes or no. But of course, the LEP will give me like this whole story that I need to interpret. I cannot assume that they mean yes or no. And I told this to the lawyer, and the lawyer was like, oh my God, I need to get another interpreter, because it seemed, I don't know what was wrong with that lawyer. They were very rude to everyone in that call. And I felt very bad for the LEP, because a lawyer is supposed to help you, to defend you, to advocate for you, right? So what I did in the middle of the call, of course, I told him, this is the interpreter, I have to interpret everything, etc. And then I reached out to my interpreter supervisor. I sent them an email and I let them know that this lawyer from this place was being very rude towards the interpreter and the LEP. And guess what? This same lawyer had already several reports, and they were actually collecting reports from different, circumstances that happened. So if you're a remote interpreter and you see that something is wrong, maybe you could reach out to your supervisor, to your QA, and report that person that did something wrong. So we are not completely powerless, maybe because we are not in the same country, or we are not from that area or in that hospital, or whatever. We have people that can help us. And I was very pleased to know that there was an investigation going on to report this lawyer. And then I was, I wouldn't say brave, but that I didn't just stood by, did nothing, didn't report. I think reporting is super important, because that's how we let other people know when these things are happening. Otherwise, they will never know it. So always report what you see or what you think is wrong. So those are my 3 ethical situations. I hope that help you. This is my very first video, so I'm a little nervous. I have my little scripting. Hello, I'm sorry about that. I accidentally unplugged my camera when I picked up my notebook. So as you can see, a total newbie. I'm a noob. Anyways, so like I was saying, just as a side comment, is that something that is very shocking for me is the fact that in all of these ethics webinars, on conferences, and whenever we talk about ethics, is very in-person centered. But the fact is that there is a lot of interpretation done remotely, and the pace, the style of communication, the things that you're supposed to do is slightly different to in-person interpreting. So I rarely see examples of ethical decision making over the phone or with the video, and sometimes these are things related to technical aspects, like for example, being unable to see the patient um, in a video appointment, and how do you politely ask people to do things. So it is a matter of following protocols, having a proper etiquette, and also knowing when you should do things beyond being a conduit over the phone. I feel it's not very laid out, it's not very clear, because it's all focused on in-person interpreting. So I'm really proud to say that on InterpreMed we have an ethics club, and this club is run by Kelly, my co-founder. And the things that we do in there is that we meet at least once a month, and we work on ethical decision making situations, scenarios, real scenarios that happen to real interpreting professionals. We have a group from all parts of the United States and some other parts of the world, like from the UK, New Zealand, and people that bring all of their experiences, all of their knowledge. Some of them are remote interpreters, some of them are in-person interpreters, court, legal, medical, and we all come to this place and we meet and we prepare to these situations. Um, how do we handle the situations to make sure we are serving the community appropriately, and we are still being professionals? So I think that's very hard to navigate sometimes, and it's something that gets better with practice. When you develop a script in your mind, when you are mentally prepared for the situation, you are better able to handle that situation. So that's the goal of the Ethics Club. So please join us. You may go to interpremet.com and you may become a Memory Club member or a Master Plus Memory Club member, and we'll give you not only the discussion but also practice materials for consecutive simultaneous eye translation and the Ethics Club, of course. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you like it. I'm going to try to upload more videos like this. So make sure to subscribe on the subscribe button down below and see you soon.